cover the basics of C in, I think it would be in less than 30 minutes. I'm not going to explain that much. Like, what can you do after this video that you can start learning and you can write basic programs in C. So hopefully this video will help you and all those who are trying to learn C and who want to revise it if it is in their course. So let's start. First, I have created a file with .c extension. .c extension is for C language, like HTML is for hypertext markup language, and CSS is for cascading style sheets. Like that way, .c is for C language. Now, giving a little background of C, who founded it, who was the creator? The creator was Daniel Ritchie. So he was the creator of C, which he created in, I think, in 1972, and in Bell Laboratories. So without any delay, let's start. First, we'll include the basic structure of C is include stdio.h. I'll write this and explain you just in a while. So there you go. So that's the basic structure of C. So here, S include stdio.h. Stdio.h is a standard input output. This standard stdio.h is a header file, and this stdio stands for standard input output, and .h, this h stands for header. So what we are doing here is just including this file. So without this your program won't run. Now after this we have this is the basic, like the most important thing. Every program you will write will be inside here. So every piece of program or every piece of line you will write now we will be inside here, beside functions and other stuffs. So here is an int is the type of this function, main. So main is the name, and then these are parentheses where you can input your parameters. I think it was parameters. Okay, so here, and we are returning a value of 0. So since it is an int, we are returning a value of 0. Now, how to print in C? So to print in C, you will just write printf percentage d comma, sorry, no, not percentage d, say hello world, and then save this. Don't forget to add this. This is the most important thing in C. So let's run this code. Okay, it's on me an error for some reason. Is now error. Let's run this code again. There you go. Hello world is returned to me. So also let me delete this terminal as well, because it will give me problems later on. Okay, let's just delete this. So that's how you can print in C. Now C has data types of 4 types. C has data types. The main data types are of 4 types. They are int. And by the way, this that I'm using here are used to comment out the code, which is saying the code that everything that I write inside this must not be read by my the program. It is only for humans. And you can, this is for multi-line, and for single line it is this one, and you can write this anywhere, and don't forget to add that as well. So here data types are of 4 types. Int for integer, float is for floating decimal points value, and char is for character, double is for the similar to integer. So, and this is just about integer. Integer includes value like 1 or like 77 and all the stuff. Float has value like 6.33 and all those stuff, and character will have value like a or B or C, whatever, but this would be inside single quote. Now to declare this, you will write first specify the data type, and then give it a variable name. Declaring a variable is like this. So number, you'll do it this way, and inside here you will write the value like 8.9. So this is how you can declare uh, integer. So actually 8.9 would make it a float value. So declare float, you will write float pi equals 7 point any, I mean pi doesn't equal 10, I mean it's 3.14. And then character, you can my equals name, and this should, you can only write one character, you cannot write more than one. And you can define, like, okay, so instead of pi we will give this actual pi. So just give it a random value now, 36.14. And if you want to define or create a constant, so you can do this by doing hash define. Then pi would be 3.14. So this is if you want to define or like the value that you want to change in future. Now to print, you'll write printf. Percentage D here is specified for printing double values or integer values. Percentage F is for float values, and percentage C is for character values, and there are others like percentage S for string values, and X as and more stuffs like this. But right now we'll print percentage D, percentage F, and percentage C, and a percentage F. So here percentage D, you will need to print number. You will first add this and this, give a space and then put a comma and start writing this, and type the variable's name, and then my, and then maybe everything you want to write. Here I have wrote pi as well, so let's run this code. You see 836.139999 A and 3.14. If you just want to just some less than that the values, then you can do is %2f. This %2 specifies how many decimal points you need after that. So if I do this, then you see I'll get values like this. So now after this, what we have is how can we take input. Now, taking input in C is also really easy. First, you'll specify the data type of which you want to take an input of, like R will be here. So if I want to take an input of an integer, I will write scanf, then specify the one that I said. Then you'll use this AND operator, which is an address of operator, and you'll write R. And that way you can give input and you can print it out like you wrote, and then print it out the way you want to print it, like this way. So let's run the code and check what we get. So let's say 5, so you wrote 5. So in this way you can print out and take input. Now this is similar whenever, like if you want taking float values in F, string S, character C, all this stuff. Now, as I said about operators, there are many operators in C. This let's just tell you guys about those as well. So here, this equals to is an assignment operator. This is an assignment operator. This and over here is an address of operator. Then there is arithmetic operators like plus, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then another special one which is percentage, but is actually modulo. So modulo is an operator that will return you a remainder. For example, if we do 5 modulo 2, you will get 1. So how did this one came? If you do 5 divided by 2, it won't go. So the latest one would be times 4. So 4 divided by 2 is what is 4 divided by 2? It's 2. So remaining value would be 1. So that's 4 minus 1. That's how much you will get. So this is modulus. So now, if you want to write this operators, you can do it in the easy way. So printf percentage d comma, and if you want to, I will write each code for each one of them. Percentage d. Then over here you can do add values 5 plus 2, subtract values 6 minus 3, multiply values 6 times 2, divide values 6 divided by 3, and then do a modulo as well. Modulo 7 divided by 2. Run this code. Let's check. Okay, so never forget this one as well. This is important. Okay, let's run the code. So 7, 3, 12, 2, 3. So that's how you can use modulo operators. So uh, over here, I think I saw something. 7, 7, 5 plus 2 is 7, 6 minus 2 is 3, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 divided by 3 is 2, but 7 divided by 2 will return us 3. That's because I'm dividing here, not actually, but using modulo. So there is 1. Why did I So why did it so 3? Because whenever you are printing up a float value, it will return a float value. 7 divided by 2 will return you a float value. Like if I do 5 divided by 3, then it should show me 3 or 2. Either one of them. So it, see, it showed me 2. That means it is rounding off the value. So to prevent it from rounding off the value, you can print it in float. So this, if you print integer, then it will round off the value. So over here, you can do percentage to f here, run the code. Okay, so it's saying 0, comma 0. That's because it's 5.0 divided by 2.0. Run the code now. So there you go. So that's how you can. This is the basics of operators here. So now let's come up to conditionals. So you can create conditionals by writing if. The if is for the first one, and in here you can type statement like let's create a integer with a value of 2. So let's just do a value like 8. Okay. So if we learned about operators like if 8 modulo 2 equals 0, and over here this that I'm using here equals, this is in comparison operator. There are other like this, not equals to, this is for not equals to, and this is greater than equals to, this is less than equals to, and many other. So here 8 modulus 2, if equals to 0, we can just printf uh, even. So else we can print odd odd. So this is on printing odd or even. So if I run this code, it says even. So this is done with the help of comparison operator. Now if I had done here not equals to, then it would print me odd here. So there you go. So that's about comparison operators. Now uh, let's come up with how you can print more than one statements. Like if 8 is, so we'll just do RERE, else if 8, sorry, 8 modulo 2 equals 1, then you will do RERE1, else. So let's, I was writing 8 here, it should be A here. So A, let's use A here as well, else printf. Right. So now let's run the code. Hold up. I forgot parenthesis over here. So RERE, that means if A is this, then it will do me this. Now let's run the code. It should be an RERE1. There you go. Else 3 this will never be 2, so it's just 0. RERE. So that's how you do else if statements as well. Now there is switch, which is used for longer statements. So you can write switch, and over here you will pass on the variable name. So A we are using for A. So you can now type cases like if cases if 5 modulus 2, okay, or like if 5 modulus 2 equals 0. So you don't write it this way in C. Instead what you'll do is let's pass on here diff. Okay, so we'll pass on here 32. Then we will create a variable here diff, which would be A, which will just do A modulus 2. So in if diff returns us value 0, then what we will do, we will print f 0. And break is needed, otherwise it will print other statements. Like if diff returns value 3, then we will print f 3. In this way you can create, and make sure you have break statements all over there, and default as if none of the options are chosen, then it will be implemented. So next we have loops. So loops are of three types in C. So they are three types of loop are for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So you can learn any one of them. You don't need to learn all three of these. So to print in for loop, you can do for I equals 1, and less than equals 5, I is plus plus. So this is the iterate. You'll pass the two parameters, and now you can printf anything like printf hi, and make sure you always have declared the variable that you are passing before you write it, like int I. Then run this code, and you'll get hi 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 5 times. Now you can change this to anything like 100 times if you want to print it. So hi print it 100 times. So that's how you can run this. And if you want to change the line, you can always do backslash n. Now backslash n similar to this are backslash t, and if you want to add backslash, you will do double backslash and other than backslash a. So these are the three types of thing that you must know. So like C, due to this, it printed it in different line. So that's how you can use for loop. Now the similar thing can be done using while loop. So here while uh, I is greater than equal to 10. Now using while loop, you have to declare it a variable like this before you write the code, and you can print now same thing hi and run the. This is similar, and if you can run this code, then you will get output as well. So while I is less than 1, and you can do I plus plus and then run the code. It didn't run because I did I greater than equals to. Now if I run the code, it printed I 10 times. So what I'm just doing here is just passing the condition here, and this plus plus here is an increment, which is which basically is I equals I plus 1. Now, if you want to do 2, then you can just do I plus equals 2 instead of writing this whole statement. So that's a quick move there. And now let's run on to do while loop. To run do while loop, you will write do, then you will pass on this brackets, and in here you will write on the condition similarly, and you will need to write here while, and then do this, then add this. Now you'll pass on the condition over here, like you did in the while. You'll do it this way, like while I is greater than equals to 10, or while I is less than equals to 10. You'll do this, and you'll pass on the statement like print yo, and then let's just increase I every time we run this. Okay, run the code. Yo, so like this plus plus, there are similar other ones like I minus minus, which I think you probably saw when I used it in for loop as well. So it does the similar thing. Now this were about the loops. Now let's run about strings, how you can declare strings. Now to declare strings in C, you can just write you need to run string functions. You can import this library called string.h. So this will help you do all kinds of functions like calculate the string length, change the string to lowercase, and then reverse the string and all the stuff. Now, if you want to start with the string is basically an array, and I'm going to show you how to do a string. String is an array of character, so you must learn about array as well. So let's first cover array. So the array is basically a list. So like if you say uh, food, then what comes in your mind? You write like pizza, you write like burger, and you write like sandwich and all those stuff. But you cannot declare every single like you cannot separate them by variables. It would be cluster. So due to that reason, we have array. So you can declare array by writing character, specify the array name. Like for now, I'll just write arr, and give here the array size 5. Means how many elements it must contain. And in here you can write stuff like pizza, burger, and everything. But right now we are using array, so I will write the alphabets. So B, C, D, and D. So these are the alphabets. Now, if you want to print f, then what can you do? I think instead of this one, uh, You can actually do vowels. So let's do vowels here. Percentage D, comma, array at size 1. Run the code. So let's run it. So you see 101 was returned to me. That is because every character has its own ASCII value. Like ASCII value of A is 97, so you can see 97 being printed out, and E is 101. So that's the reason why it printed 101. So let's print a percentage C. Now I got E. Why didn't I got A? Because A is the first element in array. So the statement starts with like this is actually in position 0, this E is in position 1, this I in 2 and 3 and 4. So actually here are 4 elements. So you can do it this way. If I do 0, then it will print me out A. That's how you can do it. Now what if you want to print every single element? So to print every single element, you have to run a for loop or a while loop. So you can do while I is less than equals 5. Then we'll do printf percentage C, comma, then also give a space here to make it look much better. And pass on the variable name, array at size I. Now I is a variable, so it will keep on changing. So let's declare I here I equals 0. Then every time the loop runs, I will be incremented. This plus plus means increment. So here AEIOU, and for some reason I got this flower because actually it's a before here. Sorry, I less than 5 because there are only 5 elements, so starting from 0, and after that it will just print out me garbage value, like it printed me a leaf of something, I don't know. So that's about array. Now let's learn about strings. So strings in C uh, is basically very easy. So you write str, and like in array you'll specify its size. Now for this I will just do 100. Now you can declare it in two ways. Uh, one way is like declaring an array. So you are writing S A M. Okay, I'm just printing on my name. It's an array of letters Y A and K. And you have to always have this. This is called null character or skip character. So this says that this whole thing is an array. Now, if you want to print this, if you see this, it has the value of 0. Now, if you want to print array, you can get printf. Sorry, not array, but if you want to print a string, to str save this, run the code. So over here I did %d, so it returned me a garbage value. So to print string, we'll write %s. There you go, it printed out my name. But what if I don't have this? It still prints, but it will return you an error if you are reading from files, which we are not doing right now. Now another way is the easy way of declaring string. That's basically writing it here, like my name in capitalized form. So let's run this and submit. See, it got printed out. Now printing out my name here, you can calculate, do all the stuffs like reverse it using a string function like strrev, and then pass on the string name and all the stuff, and all the stuff as well. Now to take input of a string, you can do it with scanf, but it won't read spaces. So due to that reason, we use a separate statement known as getS. GetS is similar to scanf, which we use to take input. So your getS, we will just specify the array name, and to print it, we cannot. If I do printf, I will show you the difference here. Percentage s str, and then another way of printing is put s. Put s will print it as well, but in a different way. So let's run the code and check. So let's write here hi. So let's write please subscribe. So there you go. It printed it out. But if I had used instead of getS, and if I had used scanf, then wouldn't have printed me out these spaces. So let's just see that as well. Percentage s. And while you are giving input to strings, you don't actually have to just use the address of operator here as well. Like if I write the same statement now here, please like the video, then you see it didn't read after the spaces. That's about strings. Now you can do strings function like reversing, calculating its length, which I'm not covering right now because we are just learning the basics. Now after this, we have another cool thing that are pointers. Now declaring pointers is similar, very easy. You write int and then you will get this and get ptr. Pointer is basically same thing, but it just stores a value. So like here, if I do ptr equals a, sorry, ptr equals a, and if I print f, I will declare a right now, but if I do percentage d, comma ptr, and just assign a value to a here int a equals 6, and run the code. Hold up. It says assignment makes a pointer from integer without a cast. So cast conversion is necessary here. So int ptr, what does it basically do is store this value in this pointer. So this pointer is actually storing the value of what we input. Like this ptr is basically giving us the memory location. So if I want to print this and if I just do address of, it will return me an error first here, but just a warning. So over here you can see address of A, that is 64222296. So that is basically like this PTR will just give you the address where the memory in the memory, like there is bits and bits like 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for there are memory and has one address like 101, it was 0, 102, and all the stuff, just the random values. It stores that. Now let's come on to function. Now declaring function is really easy as well. Declare function, you will just specify like my name. So in this way, and you can come here and write void. We are just specifying a data type, void name, and you can start writing the code here, or either you can start writing the code here as well. But for that, you need to do one thing, is that you must not use this. Instead, you will use this. So in here, you will just now you can just print a statement like hi. Now it will return me an hi. It will return me hi now. There you go. It returned me hi. So that's how you can do it. Now you can, if you want to take input here and do there, like if a equals 7, a equals 7, then now you can pass this to that function from here, and then you can get it, and you need to specify int a. Then same thing int a. Now you can return a value here, like return a plus 3. Save this, run the code. Okay, hold up. It says A is undeclared. Okay, hold up. Okay, now it will work. Run the code. Said hi, and it said node declared here. Okay. Int A is also declared here. Int A is also declared here. And then we are returning a value A plus 3. So let's actually change this to int, and then yeah, change this for int as well. So run the code now. It returned me hi, but it didn't print this. So now I can print this either this way. A percentage d, comma a plus 3, and use this semicolon. So we haven't declared it in here, but we are actually gaining it from here, and we are taking our input here. Now you can declare it here as well. So this is how to use a function. Now this is just a basic, and you can do all the stuff. And now there's another thing that is, I mean, for basics you can stay up with this. If you want to learn more on C, then if you want me to make a advanced question or like an advanced uh, tutorial, like all with like dynamic memory allocation structures and more stuffs like file handling, then please let me know in the comments. Till then,